Hey there, Jake from B&H. Today I'm joined by my good friend, cinematographer Mark Raker. He's a great guy. We're playing with Canon's new tilt-shift lineup, a 50mm, a 90mm, and a very exciting for the first time, 135mm tilt-shift lens. I'm pretty excited, and let's get to it, Mark.
So, we started with a simple tabletop setup because it's the classic way to use tilt-shift lenses in product photography and videography. The plane of focus is usually 90 degrees to the lens axis, and therefore you have to run a pretty high depth of field to carry everything in focus. Canon's 50mm tilt-shift lens allowed Mark to slant his focus so that it matched the contour of his objects without having to run up to double-digit f-stops. However, with the 50mm we ran into a classic problem, which was running into our own light. So we switched over to the brand new and first of its kind, the Canon 135mm tilt-shift macro. Mark rotated and lined up the tilt focus to line up with our ring and sunflower setup. And with the 135mm, we could get close without blocking our own light. It was clear that using these lenses really gave us a unique and exotic look. We quickly switched to the 5D Mark IV and put Canon's 90mm tilt-shift lens on as Mark tried to make a shot where we could see how the focus would tilt up and down the table. As he tilted down, the depth of field increased down the table as our model picked up the camera, effectively showing the difference between focus areas. Next, Mark wanted to see if these lenses could be used for portraits. So, he rigged a Fresnel to look like the sun and used a Kino 4-panel to mimic the sky above. Our model stood at an angle, making it almost impossible to get both eyes in focus at an f4, but the 90mm tilt shift had both eyes in focus. Mark then gave our model some flowers to hold, and he could easily switch between the two with a single turn of the knob, never changing his lighting nor his f-stop. But Mark wanted to take it one step further, so we took it outside. He rotated the plane of focus vertical, which knocked out what was on the left and right of the frame. It was a really striking effect, one that is usually achieved with a big 600mm lens. Really beneficial to have this in situations like a wedding when you don't have control of the background. For the last setup, Mark asked me to be his second model so he could demo the tilt shift's ability to focus two subjects at different depths, and I may have had a little too much fun with my expressions. Once again, Canon's impressive tilt-shift lineup includes the 50mm, the 90mm, and the first of its kind, the 135mm tilt-shift macro lens.